Good day, distinguished scholars, researchers, and participants from around the world. I am Dr. Rema Bascos-Ocampo, and today I am honored to present our research titled Penetrate to Liberate Military Combatants Narratives of the Liberation of Marag Valley during the CPP-NPA occupation. This study is co-authored with Dr. Ronald Ocampo, and together we aim to document an important yet rarely studied historical experience from northern Philippines. Our work highlights the lived experiences of soldiers who participated in the liberation of Marag Valley and explores the lessons their stories offer for peace building, civil military relations, and peace education. Let me begin with a question. When we hear the word war, we often think of strategies, victories, or casualties. But how often do we hear the voices of the soldiers who lived through it? In remote valleys where history was written not in textbooks but in fear, survival, and resilience, soldiers were not only fighters, they became protectors, negotiators, and witnesses to human suffering and hope. This research asks a simple but powerful question. What can the stories of soldiers teach us about war, peace, and the path toward reconciliation? Today, I invite you to listen to those voices. Marag Valley in northern Cagayan, Philippines was once known as a remote area heavily influenced by insurgent presence. Military operations were conducted to restore government authority and protect communities. However, despite the historical significance of these events, scholarly documentation remains extremely limited. Most available accounts are military operational reports or media narratives, which rarely capture the human experiences of those directly involved. This study addresses that gap by documenting the narratives of military personnel who participated in these operations. Through their stories, we gain deeper insight into their motivations, struggles, ethical dilemmas, and interactions with local communities. This study explores several key questions. First, what central themes emerge from the narratives of soldiers involved in the liberation of Marag Valley, particularly regarding strategy, combat experiences, and mission outcomes? Second, what challenges did they encounter while operating in a difficult conflict environment? Third, how did civil military relationships with local communities influence the success of operations and post conflict recovery? Fourth, what lessons from these experiences can inform future military operations, peace building, and reconciliation efforts? Finally, how can these insights be integrated into peace education to promote historical awareness, empathy, and conflict sensitivity? This research uses a qualitative research design, employing thematic analysis of soldiers' narratives. The study is grounded in a constructivist interpretivist paradigm, which recognizes that meaning is shaped by human experiences and social context. Our analysis focused on four major areas. First, strategic planning during operations. Second, combat experiences and survival strategies. Third, civil military relations. And the last, lessons relevant to peace building. This approach allowed us to explore not just what happened, but how soldiers understood and interpreted those experiences. This study focuses on Marag Valley, located in northern Cagayan in the Philippines. Historically, this region was considered a stronghold of insurgent groups, making it a critical area for military operations. Data collection was conducted in nearby military camps, veteran communities, and archival resources. We also examined national archives, media reports, and documentary materials to contextualize the narratives shared by participants. The participants of this study were seven military personnel who directly participated in the operations in the Marag Valley. They are now residents of Apayao Province and members of the local community. We use purposive sampling to ensure representation from different ranks and operational roles. Participants were selected based on three criteria: direct participation in the operations, willingness to participate in in-depth interviews, and the ability to recall their experiences. Additional supporting information was gathered from military footage, news reports, and documentary sources. Data collection was conducted in two phases. In the first phase, we conducted in-depth semi-structured interviews with participants in their preferred language. These interviews were audio recorded, transcribed, and supplemented with field notes. In the second phase, we reviewed military archives, media reports, and documentary materials. To strengthen the reliability of the study, we applied data triangulation, comparing multiple sources to ensure the credibility and richness of the findings. For data analysis, we use Braun and Clark's six-phase thematic analysis framework. This process involved familiarizing ourselves with the data, generating initial codes, identifying emerging themes, reviewing themes for consistency, defining and naming the themes, and producing the final analysis. Participant quotations and field notes were used to illustrate and validate the identified themes. Our analyses revealed several major themes that characterized the soldiers' experiences during the liberation of Marag Valley. These themes highlight the complexity of operating in a conflict zone where military strategy intersects with survival, ethics, culture, and community relationships. The narratives reveal that military operations are not merely tactical engagements, but deeply human experiences shaped by fear, resilience, and moral decisions. One dominant theme was strategic adaptability. Soldiers described how they had to constantly adjust their tactics due to difficult terrain, unpredictable encounters, and limited logistical support. Flexibility and improvisation were essential. Rather than relying solely on formal military training, they combined disciplined, teamwork, and local knowledge to navigate unfamiliar environments. This adaptability played a crucial role in achieving operational success. Another significant theme was survival and resilience. Participants shared stories of physical exhaustion, psychological stress, and uncertainty during combat operations. Despite these challenges, soldiers emphasized the importance of mutual trust, teamwork, and spiritual faith. These factors help them endure difficult conditions and maintain their commitment to the mission. Their experiences illustrate how human resilience becomes a powerful force in extreme circumstances. A third key theme involved civil military relationships. Soldiers emphasized that the success of operations was not determined by combat alone. Equally important was the trust built with local communities. Respectful engagement with civilians helped build cooperation, improved intelligence gathering, and strengthened long term peace efforts. These narratives highlight the importance of human connection even in the context of conflict. Beyond the military operations, the narratives also reveal important lessons for peace building. Participants emphasize the need for compassion, cultural sensitivity, and community engagement in post conflict situations. Their experiences show that peace building is not simply the absence of war, but the restoration of trust, dignity, and social relationships. These lessons are particularly relevant for communities recovering from armed conflict. In conclusion, the military narratives from the liberation of Marag Valley reveal key insights into strategic adaptability, resilience, and the importance of human relationships during conflict. Soldiers relied not only on military training, but also on indigenous knowledge, teamwork, and spiritual strength. The challenges they faced, including harsh terrain, limited resources, and psychological stress, demonstrate the complex realities of operating in conflict zones. Most importantly, strong civil military relationships played a crucial role in both mission success and post conflict recovery. Based on these findings, we recommend integrating these narratives into peace education programs, particularly in communities affected by conflict. First, story based learning can help students understand the human dimensions of war. Second, peace education should incorporate indigenous knowledge and cultural resilience, highlighting the role of local traditions in survival and recovery. Third, themes of compassion, moral responsibility, and ethical decision making in conflict should be emphasized. And finally, storytelling can serve as a tool for historical awareness, dialogue, and reconciliation. The stories from Marag Valley remind us of something profound. Behind every conflict are human lives, moral choices, and communities longing for peace. If we listen carefully to these narratives, we do not only learn about war, we learn how peace can be built, one story, one community, and one act of understanding at a time. Thank you very much.